my name's John. I'm a retired engineer. And when I retired, I thought I need something to do. So this is what I started doing. The reborn sculptor, all by accident, by the way. Happened all by accident.
How do you become a sculptor by accident, John?
Well, it was, right, what it was. I'll tell you what happened. My daughter came round, I was fixing my camper, and it was a rusty old thing, and I took a pattern with a piece of paper, and I cut this metal, I bashed it and put it in, and my daughter said, did you just do that just from memory? Just this? I said, yeah. So she said, okay, make me something, because I had a load of cutlery I was going to dump. And she said, make me something out of that, Dad. So I did. I made her a scorpion or whatever it was. And she said, well, make me something else. So I said, well, come back later on and I'll make you something else. And I made her an eagle. And it went viral. It went crazy after that, you know. I had people messaging me from Australia, America, New Zealand, India, Mumbai in India. So it took off very quickly. Yeah,
that's amazing. So I guess the engineering side of it maybe explains to a certain extent how you can put something like this together. But what about the creative and artistic side of it? What's your background there?
None. I haven't got none at all, honestly. I've never trained as an artist. In fact, I can't draw to save my life. But when I get a piece of metal in my hand, I can just make stuff with it. I don't know why, I just can. And it's one of those things I love doing. I love working with metal, you know what I mean? And it just comes about and I make stuff and I think, how the heck did I make that, you know? I have a very good following, even from the UK and from the US. People in the United States, one lady said, can you make me a predator fighting an alien? Well, I done one with a sword and it's all voice activated, it's all animated. Yeah, and then there was another chap who was 92. He used to fly Spitfires during the war, and I made him a Spitfire out of scrap metal, and it was identical to the one he flew, and he was over the moon, and that's on my site as well.
See, this is beautiful. So you're having these sort of emotional connections with people as well when you're making these pieces.
Well, yes, it is. Yeah, I mean, just recently, I donated a motorcycle I made. It was a calf racer motorcycle. I donated it to the Southern 100 because all charities are struggling just now. They all are. And if I could help them all, I would, you know. So I donated a sculpture I made of this calf racer to them so they could sell it and get some funds to help them out. I mean, wherever possible, if I can, I'll try and help people, you know. I'm always doing dogs. If you look at my website, I've recently done one for a lady who misses her dog dearly. And I've done one out of, it was a little Yorkie, I think it was, or a poodle. And if you look at the face on it, it just is to die for. And it's made of spoons and forks, you know.
This is, how on earth you put expression and character into cutlery? Seriously.
Well, what I do when I hold a fork or a knife, I mean, the thing is with cutlery, which I've said before, it lends itself nicely to a shape. It's got a lovely shape, you know, so you can do stuff with it. So I get my inspiration from cutlery. I think, well, a spoon goes this way or that way, or a fork. So I bend metal to mimic its shape, and that's how I end up doing faces and stuff like that. And I only started doing this because when I retired, I thought I've got to find some way of earning a living, you know, because the pension's not going to see me through. I don't get a pension till I'm 67. That's another 2 years, by the way. So I've got to find something to do. So, yeah, so I got famous at 62. I'm going to be busy for a long time.
I tell you what, your meal times must be a nightmare with you playing with your cutlery, not your food.
Well, yeah, my missus goes, where's the forks gone?
Well, your latest creations have gone down an absolute storm, and especially because I think it all happening in lockdown when people just needed something to brighten their days. So just tell us a little bit about what you've been working on during lockdown.
Right, well, I've been working on quite a bit of stuff. And one was Davy Jones. It's a bust of Davy Jones from the Pirates of the Caribbean. I've done that one. I've done the horse out of spoons. That was all made out of spoons. You'll see that on the site as well. And then I made the Odin, the Viking. Now that just came about just by a head. A lady wanted this head and shoulders. That's all she wanted for a haul. So we made it. We worked out what size it's going to be and weight and all the rest of it. And when she's seen it, she says, "John, it's absolutely wonderful, but it's too big for my haul." I said, "Don't worry about it. It's okay." So I thought, to heck with it. I'll just make it a full-size Viking. So that's where I went with that one. So it ended up just a head and shoulders and arms, and then I made the body, then the legs. It got out of hand, you know. And then I made the sword. Then I made the axe. I've got to make a shield yet as well. And then I was delighted that the airport said that they would take it and show it at the airport. He's 6'5", actually. Yeah, he's a big lad, 6'5", and he weighs about, at the moment, he weighs about 70 odd kilos, 75 kilos. So, but it breaks down into 3 separate parts. I've got it all bolted together, so it's easy to move around, or easier to move around. Yeah.
Oh, so it'll be fabulous to see him at the airport. Fancy stepping off a plane and being welcomed by this, and he does look extraordinary. He's got character to him as well.
Yeah, he'll either intimidate you or fascinate you. One of the two, you know. And that's what I like about a true Viking.
He definitely makes a statement. Do you have any idea when we might see Odin in the airport, or?
Well, the way things are at the moment with lockdown, we're not too sure. But they have to set a place aside for him. I've still got to protect the metal, so I'm going to put a metal coat protection on the inside. I'm just going to polish and clean the outside and then clear lacquer it, because I think it looks unique the way it is. If I paint, I'm going to spoil the look. I'm just going to do that, and then he's going to look very awesome. I'm going to fit a light behind his hands. It's a battery operated light, so when you get close to it, when he gets about 2 foot away from it, the light comes on and shines on his face, which will make him even more intimidating.
You're mischievous, you are. Well, something tells me I'm not going to stop there. So what? No, I'm not going to stop there. So once Odin's finished and is in the airport, in situ in the airport, what's your next big project then?
Right, my mind works overtime all the time. I'm always wanting to do something. I'm making a walking. It's a motorized walking legs. That's another thing I'm making. That's just a pair of legs that walk with an engine. But the other thing I'm making, which is after the Odin, is a life-size horse. It's a Shire horse, a big Shire horse, all life-size. It's all going to be all metal, polished metal, and he's going to be rearing up with his legs up in the air. And so that's going to be a big one.
Where do you do this? Because I'm looking around and I'm thinking it looks very clean and tidy in that home of yours.
Joking. My missus goes crazy with me because I end up taking. See, most of my big stuff, I just go out in my backyard and do it out there. But when it comes to little stuff, I've got a cellar. I can just do it in my cellar, just little bits and pieces. But it's generally in my backyard, you know. Yeah. I'm always thinking of something else to do. When I'm out and I'm looking at stuff, so I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, I'll make that when I go home," and I do. You know, keep me busy, keeps me off the streets.